I'm Gabe, this is Jonathan, and this is Seth. We're going to see the Bourne Legacy.
So, what's the name of the guy who directed this? It's a familiar name.
I don't know. I don't check that stuff.
Anyway, I looked it up. He's only directed 2 other movies, Duplicity and Michael Clayton.
Clayton was good.
He was a writer for both of the other Bourne movies.
Oh, it's Terry or Tony something.
I can't remember.
It starts with a T, though.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, so I don't know. I mean, I like Michael Clayton. I've never seen Duplicity. So
I love Michael
I've
Clayton.
never seen that either. I haven't seen Michael Clayton either.
I really liked Michael Clayton. That was a good one. Seemed like a good director. Just all in all, that was a really good film.
Did you get a chance to watch the Bourne movies this week, John?
I got through 1.5 of them.
So this movie's gonna make no sense.
I don't know. Like, the one thing I noticed from watching the old ones is they really stand alone as kind of independent action movies.
That's not true at all.
There is a lot of
The first one's
intertwining dialogue.
The first one stands alone, but that's it. The other 2 are completely dependent on what went before. Actually, part 3, spoiler alert, Part 3 is a retelling of the final 2 minutes of Part 2 with a bunch of plot shoehorned in to retrofit it and make it an epilogue to the previous movie.
Don't get me wrong, it was good, though.
I guess Damon walked off this one because he said the script was lazy. Going back over the previous 3 this week, that's something I noticed, is the writing in the script got lazier with each movie. Now, granted, it started really well. I mean, it might actually be a perfect movie.
Yeah.
It'll take a few more viewings for me to decide, but rewatching it, I was just blown away by how great the first one was. It was incredibly good. Then in the second one, maybe 5, 6 logic faults pop up. There's only a handful of them where the characters know things that there's no explanation of how they would know. And then by the third one, it's just like, plot, we're just gonna make this the most frenetic action we can, and it was just super lazy. Now don't get me wrong, it was still very exciting, but the script was just full of holes.
I only watched Ultimatum the one time, so I couldn't really say, and it was a little while ago. I didn't really pick up on a lot of that stuff, or if I did, I can't really remember. Did I ever tell you about the time that Grandma had read The Bourne Identity when she was younger? None of us knew anything about it.
Which tells you how long the story's been around.
Yeah. And she's like, hey, do you want to go see a movie? And my 73-year-old grandmother wants to go watch a movie with me. It was just a strange experience. And then we went and watched The Bourne Identity for the first time in the theater, and then I was just floored because that movie was so cool.
Yeah, that was really, really good. I can't believe it was my first time watching it the other day.
No, the first one really was excellent. Because I had in mind what Damon had said about the writing dropping off and stuff, and so I was very critical of him when I watched it this time, and it just knocked me on my ass. It was so good.
Oh, yeah.
And it was so tight and clean. I couldn't find anything to complain about. And I had forgotten Clive Owen was in it.
Yeah, that was cool.
All right, I don't want to talk too much about the first one. I'm excited for anything Renner is in.
Absolutely.
He's gained enough credibility just off of the town for me to give him 3 bad movies in a row without giving up on him. And Norton gained enough credibility off of Fight Club and American History X and Death to Smoochie. Between those 3 movies, he would have to do 10 battleships in a row for me to start thinking, maybe I should stop going to his movies.
You have to become Nicolas Cage.
No, because Nick Cage doesn't do them in a row. He does crap, and then he'll do something that's pretty good, and then he'll do something that's just okay, and then he'll do a horrible bomb, and then he'll do something good again. So, like, I'm talking in a row. I'm talking one, 2. I'm talking Sam Jackson, only worse.
What was the last Nicolas Cage movie that didn't suck?
Drive Angry, I actually really liked.
That's debatable, though.
I had so much fun at that
because
movie.
it sucked.
All right,
so
you know what?
much.
We're talking about Nick Cage here, and this is a problem because we're not reviewing a Nick Cage movie today. We're reviewing Jeremy Renner and Edward Norton and Rachel Weisz.
I like Rachel Weisz.
Yeah.
I like Jeremy Renner. I like Edward Norton.
Well, this movie's got a great cast. But,
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, it could just be the writing that'll make it fail.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter how great the cast
And that's
is.
what really scares me because the cast was rock solid in all the other movies. And I didn't hate Ultimatum. I want to say that outright. It's not like the plot holes ruined the movie for me because the movie was frenetic action. It was very exciting, very well shot, well acted. All that was excellent. It's just the logic wasn't there, especially coming off of the first movie, which was just razor sharp. There was just a really steep drop off in the quality of the writing.
Now, are they following the books throughout all these movies?
Oh, no, not even
Okay,
close.
I haven't the foggiest.
I read like the first quarter of Ultimatum, and then I realized the movies didn't help at all, and so I went back and checked the earlier books, and it's completely different. The only thing that's the same is that Jason Bourne loses his memory in the first book, and that his name's Jason Bourne. That's it. Everything else is different.
I'm very dubious when it comes to this movie, but with hope because of Renner and Norton.
Well, and I haven't seen the other three, so I'm going to have to judge this film by its own merit as just an action film.
I'll be very curious to see whether or not this movie makes sense at all to you.
I'll be the objective viewer.
That'll be an interesting perspective to have. All right, well, click the annotations bar, hit us up on Facebook and Twitter. We got a blog now, links in the description for everything. And we'll see you on Wednesday with our review of The Bourne Legacy.